Hello. Yay. I was like, you're the first one in my first live. Yay. I'm so glad. I'm just glad you're here. Somebody I know. Even if it's just me and you, it's all good. We gotta test the waters, right? Even if it's just me and you, it's all good. We gotta test the waters, right? I'm Even if it's just me and you, it's all good. We gotta test the waters, right? I'm signing in as myself to add some more people. Make sure I can still see the messages. How do I pin a comment? Pin. Okay. How are you feeling? Do you have a specific question? This is exciting to be one of those people on YouTube. Like YouTube's been around forever, but you know, I watch it. I watch YouTube all the time. Okay, still here? So peace, feeling tired and anxious, dealing with the parent, your parent, and need guidance on how to care for him. Hey, hey, peace. Thank you for joining. Um, so Beth will look into that. Okay, good. Thank you for hanging in there because this is tad tricky. Let me know if there are any problems like with hearing and stuff too, you know. Have the fan blowing, so. Recording? Yes. So it will save, hopefully. Hopefully. I'm watching myself on the computer at the same time so I can be my own moderator. Like I need a moderator, but so just take a second wherever we are just to take a minute to place our feet on the floor if we're able to center ourselves, to just visualize ourselves as a tree, stabilized, rooted, strong, growing, centered, swaying with the wind and going with the flow, but still able to stand our ground. Wherever you are, say your name out loud 3 times. Katona, Katona, Katona. And right now we just call all the portions of ourselves back to ourselves. All the portions that are attached distracted with other people, places, things, timelines, alternate realities. All of those portions of ourselves back to the now moment, into this body, integrate into this body. It is safe and secure here. Make sure that you're breathing. And I want to ask our higher selves to step forward. I want to ask spirit guides to step forward. I want to ask anyone that needs to step forward on your behalf, on my behalf, to assist me with being a clear and open channel to assist you in hearing the message that you need to hear, that will be the most helpful to you right now. May it be given and received out of love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we thank for this sacred medicine. Yay! I'm so glad you're here. Okay, let's see. So, what is your I just saw the 4-minute thing come up and I was like, 400? It's like, whoa. We gotta be I might be overwhelmed with 400, but we gotta be ready, right? We gotta expect whatever, not with expectation, but we have to be open to that, the bigness of things, right? We have to believe that those things can happen. And the audience that I know I've come to assist with is larger than 400. It's larger than one. But every single one matters, right? Every single one, I would love to know you on a personal level. Every single one, I would love to be connected with. So this world can literally be a better place. Connection and love is what really does that. So Beth, what's your father's name, if you don't mind? Start with a D. Uber. Oh, you were thinking, you were already like feeling what I was thinking. It's like, yeah, that's his real name. What's his middle name, by the way? Is he, if he has a middle name? Because some people don't have middle names. Charles Bivin. That is like a type of name from one of the books, like some of the books I read as a child. Charles Bivin. Is he able to speak? Is he having issues with his speaking? So the first three cards I get coming out are, okay. Are Chiron, which is healing, for healing, also for wounds. The Pisces card, which I know you carry that Pisces energy, and representing you in this, but also aspects of himself with his own ability to deal with his own emotions, his own emotional state, and Pluto about the change that's happening, the change, the depth of the change that has happened, is feeling like it's not only difficult for the family, but of course it's extremely difficult for him as well. How do you feel like he is handling the shift of not necessarily being functional? Because I'm thinking he has been at some point a completely functional individual and no longer has that functionality as he has before, and to that extent has affected him on an emotional level that he may not be able to, maybe much deeper than what that he communicates, and making the situation a little more challenging, because when those things happen, especially medical wise, we want the person to be, we want the person to, we as a family, we'd have the hope and the wish that they will return to where they were before. But it gets to a certain point that returning to where we were before, even without medical, even with just, the changes that we go through on a daily basis and transforming and shifting into and evolving, we never will be the same. Things will never be the same. And so to deal with that, and I'm getting like total, like cold, really cold with this. I'm feeling him like that is something that he cannot yet comprehend. It feels very, very, very confusing. And I can feel it in my own body that that knowing how it has been before to be a completely functional individual, and knowing that in those times where things happen, when you had your full strength and where you full physical strength, your full clear bill of health and all of that, that when things happen to you, you had enough fight to overcome it. And then it gets to a point where that those tactics don't work. They don't work like they did before, because you have transformed and shifted into a new stage in life that we're supposed to be in. Not saying that we succumb to sickness, but there's times where we're asked to surrender. And that's what this water is really representing, because water is coming up a couple of times. And it's not asking him to give up, but it's asking us to surrender, to somehow shift, to somehow go with the flow, to embrace the level that we are right now, still with the hope of still transforming and shape-shifting into a better version of ourselves, but never again to be the person that we were before, which is very difficult for someone to wrap their mind around. That I will never, ever, ever be the same. I will never be the same. Because regardless of what you were before was stronger, or you considered it to be stronger, physically stronger, healthier, you will never be that same individual ever again. We can only ask that we transform and shift going forward in a still not in a linear direction, but forward in the way of evolving at a soul level. And so those cards coming up under the Pluto, the transformation or the change that has happened. The change is and Pluto does not always have to be dark, but right now it's coming up as dark for him. It's coming up as like this dark, deep, like way far out there, like a part of his mind about what is going on is so just out in the dark and an abyss, and it's stuck. And he doesn't know how to find his way out of that. The water, like I said, Water, Pluto is tied to Scorpio energy. That Scorpio energy, with the change, it can be powerful, but it can also be detrimental because of it's so powerful and shifting and changing in a forward direction. It has the same intensity to do that in a self-sabotaging and backwards direction. So that's how it's feeling. Like there's a negative mind trap with him right now. Also of the not even knowing that that is the case. It's not even an awareness that there's a part of his mind that has himself stuck. The Gemini, it came up under here as well. So some difficulty communicating that. Difficulty raising himself, because Gemini is the air. Difficulty raising himself above that water, almost like he's drowning, like literally drowning. Does he have is there lung or throat at all? You don't have to tell me that because it's medical, but you can message me later. So the next set of cards is the Pisces. Like I said, the Pisces representing your energy, but also the Pisces representing the part of him, because Pisces is very much in that subconscious space. Pisces is can kind of get lost in that subconscious space, and there's like it's total disconnect from the body and the mind, where I see like him, you know, swimming around in the subconscious waters and no longer in the physical body. Like there's a disconnect of realizing the shift and the change that has happened, and coming to the realization of what life looks like. Okay, yeah, I was feeling lungs, like lungs, yeah. Okay. So how is your sister interacting with that? And you can let me know as much or a little as you want. But here's that Scorpio energy, like I said, with the Pluto. You know, like I said, when Pluto and Scorpio are together, you know, this has a huge capacity for intuitive, for emotional, for manifesting power. But that huge capacity for it in this direction it has the same intensity in the opposite. It has the same intensity to block us. Has the same intensity to self-sabotage. Has the same intensity to shut us completely down. And he's on this spectrum of trying to figure out, or trying to first realize that that is happening. Realize that, you know, there is some negative mind trapping. And understanding that and getting out of that place. This card is coming up, the hearth. I use a lot of cards for the imagery. And this is this is almost like the image I saw of him swimming around in this abyss. Although this feels very light, but it also feels like a protected fire, a protected flame. And it's small, you know, it's fairly small. Like although it's elevated and it's burning and it's lit, it's protected. And he's put those pieces of himself in a place where it can be protected and separated from the rest of his body. The Chiron, like I said, Chiron represents wounds. Chiron represents the ability, the wounded warrior. Of course, there are wounds here. I'd be interested to know where his Chiron is, so it's something that you can look up or contact me after. We can look at that if you wanted. But very much tied into that, and also your Chiron. I would not be surprised if you both share the same Chiron. Which is, you know, this process that you're going through with him is very much a part of that healing. Yeah, I think that's very much because the sun is coming up. The sun is, this feels like you in the picture, you bringing in the as much light as you can, you bringing in the force, you bringing in the motivation and the inspiration, you can only do that so much for him. And at some point meeting him where he is at the same time was not I like that the word succumb, not succumbing but surrendering to the process. I don't know if that this Capricorn energy is coming up. I don't know if you are pushing him and you believe that it's a, you know, it's positive in the way that you're pushing him, like to get up, to move around, to do this, to you know, to be a little more active, which is all great in the bigger picture, right? But I know I'm feeling that he needs to be met where he is, so that he can understand exactly where he is, like with a level of grace and like and mercy, and not feeling that he is not able to be who he was before, not putting that in his face, you know, not saying that you're doing that, but not making it so apparent that he is no longer who he was before and never will be. Okay, yeah. He feel, that's what I'm saying. It's positive. Like, what you're doing is technically positive, but he's perceiving it as very critical, very like you need to, like, very dogmatic, very you need to do this, very like restrictive, stereotypical father energy from you, even though it's out of love. So to shift, in order to help him, we have to also be amenable to change, because what we're doing right now is not necessarily working, right? So let's see what comes up. So there's a asking for a softening in that a little bit, without saying that I'm giving up on pushing him to be and do better, because you know, like in your core, you don't want to, meet him where he is. Yeah, exactly. You know, because that the more that we push people to be what we can see in them, but actually what he feels he's not. Like I said, he's lost in this abyss of the mind, you know. And let me know. I know that it says there are 4 people in here. Let me know if anybody. I was chit chat with Beth all night, so I pulled a couple more cards on him, but that's what I'm feeling, and I feel like shifting up that. So create open communication. Asking him, you know, kind of like, what does he think? What does he believe is the best? What do you believe is the best plan? Seeing the beauty in life is the other card that's coming up. As far as like how to help him, how do we get this a little better? So create open communication. You probably talk to him a good amount, and this is just saying with this particular issue to ask him what do you believe is the best path for you? What do you believe will really be beneficial to you? What do you believe will really help you? And really listening to that. And even if it sounds ridiculous, even if he says, I want to lay here for 3 days and do nothing, listen and see how we can process that, and see how you can meet him where he is and soften him so he can come back into the body and make the body feel safe, because that Capricorn energy is not making his body feel safe. It is making his body, it is making him not, you're not doing that, but it's the energy of like the pressure, the to achieve, the pressure to be, the pressure to do. And his body knows he cannot do that. He knows that on a soul level, but the integration hasn't happened where he said, okay, like this is the new version of me. See the beauty in life. So I love this card. This tree is like the Pandora tree, and I mean the tree in the movie Avatar, which is one of my favorite movies. And all of these around here look like tombstones, right? It looks like all this stuff has died. Like, but there's a beauty about it because there's still growth. There are a lot of things about him that are no longer, but there's still him. There's still growth. There's still beauty in what is going on. Where can we find those aspects of the beauty? And there are two paths ahead. So you can continue the way that you're going and you're going to get the same result. There's not going to be improvement. There's not going to be, you can continue to do everything the way that you're doing and it will continue to be the same. And it will continue to feel like pressure and like that pit in your stomach, that pit in your heart that's just sucking you, you know? Or you can shift and change what you're doing so that the people around you will also be able to shift what they're doing, because the response that they're giving to the same action that you're giving is going to be the same. So we want a different response. We have to change what we're giving. We have to change what we're doing, even though the medical and the actual medical issues are not necessarily yours, but you are being affected by it. So we have to shift up our own behavior in order to expect any shifting externally. So I hope that helps. Who's in here? How can I tell who's in here, you guys? I see 5 people. If anyone wants a reading, Beth, let me know how that was. I'll pull you. If anyone wants a reading, it's a minimum of $11, and you'll send it to CashApp. I can't tell who's in here, but just let me know. It's not like Instagram where you can see people when they pop up. Thank you. Also, I'm gonna be one of those people. If you like what you see, please like it. If you like what you see, please like it. I'm gonna like my own video from the other way, from the computer. So the last cards for you is to have comfort. Have comfort that you are a source of comfort, but also to be open to being comforted. Who around you is comforting you? Who around you is that source of like security and that blanket? You're being a blanket for someone else. Who is being a blanket for you? Yeah, definitely like feeling Holy Spirit like energy around that. Just being covered, with Holy Spirit, and knowing that you're being cared for, and also that what humans around you are comforting you. If the humans around you are not comforting you and they're causing you more distress, that's kind of like, okay, good. And to have faith. I know you do, but to just, know that it's there, that trust the process, change, shift up what you're doing and have faith about it, and passion. This is a beautiful red. It doesn't feel angry. It doesn't feel shocking. It feels so like a calming red. You of course are passionate about this because this is your father. But make sure that you're not losing any passion about what it is that you've come to do. Make sure that it's not taking the focus off of your passions about your own life and your mission in your own life. because this is temporary. The situation with you being a caregiver for him is temporary. Okay, Beth. Let me know. I wonder, can you play music on YouTube? Did it turn you off? If anyone else wants a reading, please say yes. You're welcome. I appreciate you for showing up on my first live. I think it's pretty cool. First live on YouTube. I was gonna go live on Instagram. But I don't know. I felt called to do YouTube for some reason. Yes, Special K. And I just saw the cereal box. I like that cereal too. I like that cereal. Okay, yeah, y'all are seeing all the goofies. Random cards? Okay. Gracias. Okay, let me do this. Let me reshuffle. So, peace. Let me know if something weird happens with the video, because of the music. But have a drink. Make sure y'all got something to drink. I have realized that hydration, I know it, but physically my body was like saying, you better get it together this week as far as hydration. So that's my own concoction, detox concoction there. Like some cranberry juice, lemon, water. What else did I add to that? Sometimes I add parsley, like actually like full leaf parsley, or let me do this before I can't think. Okay, so for peace, let's get it together. Okay, great. This is one of the songs I use in sessions, and it's usually like the opening one for me. You know, people think I'm using it for them. I'm using it for me. Calm me down when I'm doing energy sessions. So, okay, peace. You said just general. So peace, 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 peace.
What I made.
Ellen, I said.
It's a sip lemon juice with a bit of pineapple.
Oh, it has a little bit of pineapple juice in it. I forgot. My daughter just reminded me. Because I had it out in the kitchen. A little bit of pineapple juice. So you can really...
I put pineapple.
Okay, Kellen. Okay. How's everybody's moon time? Any Leo peoples? She was a beast in a good way. But it does not always feel good. Okay, so let's see. So, this first set of cards for you, it's Libra. Libra's calling for balance. Libra is an air sign. So, asking for lightness, more ability to perspective. That's what's coming up. That's what's coming up. The ability to rise above the situation and completely take yourself out of it. Completely remove yourself from a situation that you're actually in and seeing it from an external perspective. And having that eagle eye perspective and being able to balance out the pros and cons in a situation, the pros and cons within people, the pros and cons within yourself, and even within your own self, in analyzing you, having the ability to step out of you and see the bigger picture from a God's eye point of view. Libra and Aries are the exact opposite on the astrology chart. So Libra, Aries is house number 1. Libra is house 7. Aries is all about me. Aries is about ego. Aries is about I drive myself. Aries is about I can run you over if you're in my way. Libra is how do I balance relationships? How do I mediate? How do I make sure things are in harmony? How do I make sure that I am in a collective group? It's not so much about just me. It's about the collective group. It's about partnership. It's about that. So this is asking to take note of both of yourself and both of those things in your own self-driven action and in your relationships with others. And how do we balance that out? One does not have to take the back seat to the other. And to be, concerned with yourself is not selfish. It is not lack of selflessness. It is the truest form of soul work, in a way that you are seeking yourself, seeking to know thyself, seeking to know who you really are and who you've come to be. Because if we're truly doing that, we're acting in a way of love. And that does not diminish our relationships and our partnerships in any type of way. So I thought this is really neat that is opposite charts. I don't have a chart over here to show you. But like I said, first house is the house that Aries rules. 7th house is the house that Libra rules. And they're directly opposite of each other. They are the opposing forces, but they are meant at some point to come to the middle and be together. and to be combined, and to, because we don't have one or the other, we have them all. This is South Node in the same row of cards, talking about past life. So South Node is about what has already been done. South Node is about karmic debt. South Node is about, you know, past things. Not only is it past lives, but things that have happened in the past and this life. The things that feel very comfortable and that are easy to do. This is bringing the attention to those things. That there are some things that are stuck there. The comfort things, the things that that you may be complacent about, the things that you don't want to shift and change because you've done it before and it feels okay to do it. It feels very comfortable. It feels familiar, and because of the familiarity and the ease of it, it makes it feel like that's right. It makes it feel like that's what I should do because it feels like I'm going with the flow because it is so easy. But this is telling you now that there's a pivotal point in your life where it's asking you to break out of some type of zone in that south node, in that past, that has created this safety zone that feels safe, and it's asking you now to step out of that. Which one of these two is it? Partnership, is it self-driven factor? Is it self-driven characteristics? Which one of those two needs to amplify so that both of them are even? Both of them have equal forces in your life. Which one of those is asking to come up to the forefront? Or is it both? You know? The next line of cards coming up is the water element, sensing. A water element can be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Water is about intuition. Water is about that going with the flow. Water is about the depth, you know. And this is saying to use your intuition, use your ability to tap into your dream state, your alternate realities, your knowingness to expand. Jupiter is about expansion. We're not supposed to be stuck in our mind. Our mind is supposed to be a tool and a catalyst to expand us in the body and in the physical. Because we can't see the mind. But this is where everything starts. This is where it all starts. And that feels so strong. Like it feels so strong coming through. This is where it all starts, and it's where it all can end. So what little seeds are asking to be started? What little seeds in your mind are asking to be grown and to expand? Jupiter is about what needs to grow at this stage in your life. And Jupiter is associated with abundance. And if that little seed is there in your mind, believe that you will be abundant doing it. Do not doubt yourself. And explore. Exploration, 9th house. Not only is 9th house about travel, and it's this very Sagittarian energy, it's very curious, it is wild, it is courageous, it is about self-mastery. And this first row was really about self-mastery. Self-mastery. Mastery of the self is not just about the self. It is about how we intercalate, how we integrate into the entirety of all things. So how do we integrate into other relationships? How do I integrate into this planet? How do I integrate into spirit? How do I integrate into the ethers? You know, how do I do those things? It's about self-mastery. And that's what this 9th house energy is. It is time to step off onto some type of ledge and take a leap that you only know right now is seated inside of you. This little, and it feels really small. It feels like a little tiny voice that's like a really little version of yourself. That's like, hey, and it feels very small. It feels like there's a really, really, really huge dark space, and there's a little voice that's waving and hoping that you hear it, to allow you to tap into this part of you that is going to expand you into North Node, expand you into more of your purpose and less of your past, more of where we're going and less of where we've been. The fifth house, this is, it feels definitely creative, fun. Fifth house is about that Leo energy, Leo moon that we just passed. It's about taking, and Leo is definitely about taking risk. So is Aries, about taking risk, of having the courage to be scared and still do the thing. It's okay to have the fear. The fear does not mean that you should not do it. There's very different types of fear. The nervous fear, and then the fear that we should completely avoid. To know the difference between the two. And just because we have the fear does not mean to stop. Does not mean to go in the opposite direction of no fear and ease. Just because it's a little harder. Oh yeah. I feel like I'm in church, Ashley. Yeah. It's better when I don't like look at the camera. I just stare out in space. But yeah, so creativity. Tapping into inner child. Tapping into the little portion of yourself that is still stuck in the little girl you. What did that little girl dream of doing? And that feels so emotional to tap back into her. Tap back into her and ask her, what does she want? What did she dream of? And lots of those things have come to fruition. But there are still some things that she's still dreaming of, that she still deserves to see these seeds and the fruition of those things. So talk to her, because she's still waiting on the answers. Hey, Michelle. Moon is yes, that part of the mind, that emotional part of yourself, tapping into that, release that's what's coming up too. Releasing some emotions that releasing the emotions that are causing her to not be heard. That little girl version of yourself. It's almost like she is invisible in this sea of emotions, like in this same big black dark space of an abyss type of area. She's in there, and so are these bottled up emotions that need to be released, that need to be acknowledged, that need to be washed, that need to be cleansed, that need to be just released and free, to allow her to be heard, because it's causing just this cloudy, film of murkiness around her that she cannot be heard. And that relationship, and this is talking about a relationship with yourself, even though this is 7th house with partnerships, but this is like shaking hands with the portions of yourself, embracing the portions of yourself, mediating those portions of yourself that are asking to be heard and to be seen, to create more harmony and peace. Oh, hey y'all. I was like, who are these people? I can't see it on my phone. So I pull a couple more cards. So a little color card's coming up for you. Caution. And this is speaking to me about this yellow color is very much about caution and where you put your power. It's about solar plexus energy. Where you place your power is where your energy is going to go. So put your power where you want your energy to go. It's like when you're moving, when we're like, no, go. doing any type of things athletic or whatever, and wherever our eyes go, the body goes. Wherever we choose to place our power is where the energy is going, is where the focus is going. So be cautious of where you choose to lend your power to. Do not become attached to things that suck your power. Do not become attached to things that don't deserve your power. There are things that do not deserve your energy. So be cautious of those things. Magic. And magic, very third eye, just using that ability, using their ability to using your ability to really see more than what you've seen before. Asking for that to open for you. Yes. More than what it's done before. Because we're never fully open. There's always room for evolution and knowing. There's always room for evolution and growing. We're never to the point where we know it all. We're never to the point where we see it all. Because why would I need to see the end of the road from at the beginning? I need to see, just a couple of steps in front of me. Now there's new things for you to see, and ask for that for more to be tapped into. And surrender. I know I've talked a lot about surrender on Instagram, that little video I did about surrendering versus succumbing. And surrendering is lifted. Surrendering is light. Surrendering does not feel like defeat. Surrendering does not feel like you've given up. Some things we have to lay the sword down for. Some things we have to pick up the sword for. But what do you need to lay the sword down for? And just say, I'm lifting it up. I am releasing it. I am letting that go. I no longer harbor anything against or even towards that situation, that person, that thing. I let it go. I release that. I surrender to it. The prayer that's coming up for me, for you, is the Ho'oponopono prayer. So I can message you that afterwards. So just remind me. But Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian prayer. And I might say it out of order, so forgive me. But it's just 4 phrases, and it's thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. And I'm sorry is the other one. I'm sorry. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. And basically, it's not saying that necessarily to another individual. It's saying that to any part that we've played in anything that may have caused us pain. Anything that may have caused us discomfort. Anything that may have hurt us. That's what it's doing. It's auto-correcting anything that we hold against anyone else in a way that only makes sense at a soul level. Yeah. So that's the prayer there. So that's the prayer coming in. Thank you. Anybody else? So like I said, if anyone is interested, just let me know. Interested in a reading, they're $11 or more this evening. You're welcome. $11, at least $11 donation to be sent to CashApp. I think I pinned it at the top, and I appreciate you all. Okay, Michelle, do you have a question? And y'all could just send it. I'm not gonna check right now because there's too much going on for me. I mean, to be like, I don't want to get too distracted. You could just send it tonight, please. When you get a chance. the Cash App. And if you have any questions, just message me on Instagram. But I appreciate you all. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you just showing up. This is the first YouTube live I've ever done. So, Michelle, let me know if you have a question. I don't know. It kind of feels a little different on YouTube. I just like feel the energy feels a little different. I don't know what it is. Not, I mean, in a good way. It feels really. Thank you. Maybe if there were like 100 people, I'd be a little more stressed. But it feels a little calmer. Like I don't feel as hot. On Instagram, it's like I'm hot. Okay, Michelle, let me know if you have a question. I'm just looking at my computer if you guys are wondering what I'm staring at, because it's easier. Like the phone, what is next to come? So Spirit, help me see what is next to come. I'm hearing a whole lot. I mean, that's what the answer was. But we'll see what's I'm hearing a whole lot. I don't know if that feels like it's true. Feels like a tad bit of a roller coaster. But roller coasters are meant to be fun. They're meant to be fun. But aren't we all at the very, at the foot of the roller coaster, are we all terrified? Like, aren't we all? I don't care if you're like a pro roller coaster rider, and I've ridden some of the world record roller coasters, and thank you, peace, thank you, I appreciate that. And some of those roller coasters, I still like standing at the bottom, just saying, I think I'm just not gonna get on. I give up. Like, I'm not. Why am I subjecting myself to this? And with the pit in your stomach, like, no. The pit in your stomach, ready to exit the stage left, like real fast. But then after the ride, like even during the ride, then you're like, okay, the climb up, the initial climb is like hideous. It's just like, why did I do this again? Like, can they stop the ride and I just walk down the steps on the side? And then you're like, once you get over the top, then you get over the top and you see the top peak, and then you're just like, why the hell I do this again? Like, why am I up here? Like, defying gravity and all that, where I could be really safe on the ground and just stay there. And then that release, and you're immediately like over it. Nothing is scary. After that initial release and that ride begins, and the descent, the ascent, to get to the top is over. The entire ride is fun. There's no scary part after that. None of the humps are scary after that. And then at the end, you're like, I'm ready to do it again. But are you really? Like, are you really ready to do it again? So just know, like, what's coming through for you is that you're standing at the foot of this roller coaster, and there's like this like intense like uncertainty about getting on that damn roller coaster. Like, why did I sign up for this? You may not even know what the roller coaster is, but you feel it. And that, why did I sign up for this? Why did I decide to do this? Because I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to be, you know, uncertain. I don't want to be shaken. I don't want to be scared. But just know that in all those things, there's going to be such immense growth. And it's going to be fun. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be adventurous. Italy? Did you just move? Well, that is a big thing. Okay. Okay. Let's see what just flew out. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. Don't tip over the camera and just ruin my life right now. Okay. And do not give myself a cramp. Sorry, y'all. Okay, let me plug this phone up too. I'm like scared to touch the phone. This is like, it's always terrifying a little. Okay, we're having wardrobe malfunctions. Just a second. But yeah, so roller coaster for you. I have this. It's actually on this channel. It's actually on this channel, I think. That is coming in for you as well. So it's about the roller coaster. And I'll send it. I can send it you the link, but it's on this channel. It's called Goliath, I think. I named it Goliath. And Goliath is a huge one. Like back in the day, it was one of the. It came out as one of the biggest roller coasters at Six Flags in Georgia, and it was like the biggest one in Georgia. It was the biggest one around, you know, the southeast, I think. And so in this little message that I have about Goliath, it's like, you know, you're so excited about this roller coaster. You hear about, you know, this roller coaster and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go take a trip to Six Flags to go ride Goliath. You know, and you get to Six Flags and you see Goliath and you're like, oh, I don't know about that. And you're just like, I'm gonna go ride all the roller coasters, all the other ones that are smaller, that are not new, that are not challenging. They don't challenge your fear. They don't challenge your courage. And you've ridden them before. But you go around Six Flags and you ride the other roller coasters. But you don't feel satisfied because, like, you came with the mission to ride Goliath, right? So you're not going to leave satisfied until you ride Goliath. And so this feels like a Goliath for you. This feels like a huge thing that you will not feel satisfied until you try. You will not feel satisfied until you do it. It's going to be lingering in your mind, or something very similar to that. Italy. Don't drop any more cards. Not on the floor. I'm gonna pick them. Okay, so right now it feels like right now it feels like here's Saturn. Saturn is like the Saturn is your life lessons, right? But Saturn is also known for having a little bit more restriction. It's not meant to be scary. It's meant to be a course corrector to ensure that you are on the path that you've agreed to be on, to ensure that you remain on your mission. And Saturn is coming out with Neptune, and Neptune is the planet that is the planet of intuition, the planet of alternate realities, the planet of dreams, the total like opposite of Saturn energy. If Saturn and Neptune were sitting at a table, they would not understand each other at all. And your job right now, your mission right now in your life and in your body and in your mind and your spirit is to align the two of those. Like I said, that is a roller coaster itself. But this is within you. Is to align it, to create calm and clarity between these two aspects of yourself. The part that is like the more restrictive, the I need to follow it this way, this is how it needs to be done, this is more comfortable, this is more stable. And the part of you that is dreaming, the part of you that is manifesting in the dream state, the part of you that thinks that believes anything to be possible. Why Saturn is like, let's be real, let's be realistic, and Neptune's like, but anything is realistic because I can make it realistic. So how do we balance those two? Yes. So definitely, if you're saying that too, to go back to that. Go back to that time, because if Neptune is coming up and you just shared that information too, to go back to the time where you sat next to the fountain of Neptune. What were you thinking then? How were you feeling then? What was the circumstance then? That's probably going to speak a lot to you. Be clear about your communication. Be clear about how you're feeling about things. Be clear about it. Communicate it, whether it's writing, verbally, or whatever. Do not agree to things that you should not be agreeing to. Say no when you need to say no. Say yes when you feel called to say yes, despite the fear behind it, right? Because Cancer energy will continue to say yes to things that they really, at a soul level want to say no to. Because it's the ability to want to help and to assist and to mother and to nurture others at the expense of nurturing oneself. The overgiving. So be very wary of what you're saying yes to when you really should be saying no. And to revisit those things. Revisit those times. Yeah, this almost feels like, so I love this card too. This is the retrograde card. So this is like this is asking you to take a step into like your hallways, to take a step into your own past, to take a step into your own corridors where there's an image of you at each of these mirrors that you can look at, that at those times that when you've agreed to things that you should not have agreed to, that when you, not saying you should not have, that you were meant to at that time, but that you remember in retrospect that you felt that were not in alignment with yourself. Asking you to review those times so that those times are not repeated, that those you shall never repeat those steps again. And that also the times that where you were beckoned to say yes and to take leaps of faith, and you restricted yourself, once again with the Saturn and Neptune, where you restricted yourself because you felt like it was not stable, you felt like it was not the right decision for other people around you, but it may have been the right decision for yourself. But at the expense of yourself, you made a decision based off other people. Reviewing all of those decisions so that you do not repeat the same mistakes with this roller coaster. This is all in relation to the roller coaster that that you're in the line right now. You're in the line. You're not at the ride yet. You're standing in the line. South Node. South Node. Yeah, definitely do not repeat what has been done before. Definitely breaking out of comfort zones. Both 2 Taurus cards coming up. Breaking out of comfort zones, breaking out of stubbornness, breaking out of whatever. This roller coaster does not feel stable. It does not feel comfortable. But there's something sexy about it. There's something tasty about it. There's something that you're hearing that you haven't heard before. There's something that you feel that you haven't felt before. Because Taurus is about all of the senses. And it's exciting. It has an excitement. So you're asked to embrace, to let go of what doesn't feel comfortable, and to step into what feels exciting. Yeah, so Neptune in Capricorn, and that's really what the Saturn is. Saturn is, Saturn rules Capricorn. I mean, Saturn and Capricorn energy are very tied together. And Neptune in Capricorn is a toughie. It's not bad. It's just a tough spot for Neptune to be in, because Neptune is more about the imagination, the mind, the ability to manifest with the mind. And Capricorn is like, let me see it. If I don't see it, then it's not real. If it's not an opportunity that I can see, it's not real. So yeah, so Saturn, okay, yeah, well that's a lot. Yeah, so there's a lot of like that energy is very can be very like internal paternal energy, your own inner father to yourself, kicking your own butt all the time. And it's meant to be there for you to be a source of self-sufficiency. It's not meant for you to struggle with it. It's meant to be a source of self-regenerating, self-rejuvenating energy for you. So also caution, the caution card, and anger. So these 2 cards are talking to me about the solar plexus. Solar plexus kind of on overdrive right now. Solar plexus, like, let me know. You don't have to let me know, but I would wonder if you're having like some bowel, like overactive bowel, irritable bowel syndrome. And you know about solar plexus energy, but so you will know, if this resonates with you or not. But that overactive solar plexus, that is just like wanting to be okay with the rate of things. Our body does not have to be at the rate of what things are going on around us. So if our life feels like it's moving fast, the internal of our body does not have to be at that speed. We want to calm the system. We want to allow for balance within the system, just like this card. Calm, clarity, solar calm, clarity. Allow your system to feel balanced and centered and peaceful, even in the midst of all of this like frenzy, the possibility of frenzy around you. There's definitely a mystery at hand, and this could mean like the mystery feels stable, right? These are stable pillars. Like the mystery could be involving 2 people, but the mystery feels stable. The mystery feels like there's something that's being built. The mystery feels stable, you know. So creativity. This is asking you to recognize that light, recognize the light bulb that is being turned on, and to roll with it. Roll with it, which sounds very nonchalant and sometimes even attacking to Capricorn energy and Saturn energy. That's just like, roll with what? We need a plan. The plan is to trust. The plan is to go with your gut. The plan is to trust your intuition. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Who is thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Crystal, you still here? I mean, Crystal, did you want a card? Make sure I don't miss anybody. Just let me know. Has anybody else gone live on YouTube before? You cannot see like who's in here until that someone comments. So I don't know. It says 7 people. I appreciate all 7 of us being here. Thank you so much. Even if you're just here watching, I appreciate you. Sending you love. And if you ever want a private reading, reach out to me on Instagram, House of ntekkah, and we'll set that up. The readings, like I said, if anyone's new, are at least $11, and they can send to the CashAp. I think I pinned the comment at the top, but let me know if you do not see it. I sometimes do readings for on Instagram for free, sometimes for the full moons. So just if you're interested, just follow me over there. If you feel like liking the video, like it. If you like it, like it. If you don't. I don't like things I don't like, so I don't want you to either. Okay, Crystal, do you have a question? Let me know if you have a question. I'm just trying to see if you have a question. If you have a question, let me know. Guess. I said I can guess. I mean, we could. I guess I would take that as a general. Okay. What do I do next? Okay. appreciate y'all. Okay. So this is Jupiter coming up for you. Jupiter is like the planet of expansion, but also the planet of abundance. And Jupiter is coming up with the Earth card. The Earth card for you. And also the Earth card and the review. So Jupiter, Earth, and the review. That again, that card about the review. And this is asking you to take a trip to remember the things that you have manifested. Remember the things that are abundant in your life, or at times where you have expanded and manifested, are tied into each other. Because when we are called to manifest, we expand what we already are. We expand our capacity from where we are. We have manifested, we have attained something new, something different, something changed. So this is asking you to review these times in your life. Yeah, so Jupiter's in Leo. And just with the moon passing, there feels like this is like something, you know, like almost like a breaking point of expansion. Like what is this key to my expansion? What is this key to my next stage of abundance? And one of the keys is to review the times that you've expanded before. This is not asking you to dwell on these times. It's not asking you to do the same, to repeat the same things before. But there's some kind of mismatch in understanding your ability to expand beyond where you are now. That your ability, your desire to expand does not mean that you are not happy and not content and not experiencing joy where you are already. But there's this underlying desire to branch from where you, and grow more from where you were before. So when was the last time that you have felt that you have branched, that you have grown, that you have expanded? When were the times in your life and the review of your life that you felt like you branched and grown and expanded? And what is different now? What has changed now? Is it the mindset? Is it your situation? Is it what was different about yourself now and then? What things from your past self can we bring to the forefront? Is it the fire? Especially with the Jupiter in Leo? Is it the fire? Do we need to activate the fire? Was fire tied to all the other expansive points in your life? So those are the questions with that. Sagittarius is coming up here with Saturn and Mars. So definitely, anytime I see Sagittarius, I'm always thinking of travel. But this is almost like, it's more than travel. This is more of a travel to seek yourself. More of a long-term travel, more of a trip of self-mastery, more of a trip of discovering the wisdom the wisdom that will assist you in the expansion. Less about leisure and fun although it will be leisure and fun, because it will result in your abundance. Almost like what I think we talked about this too. Yeah, so the routine. There's some the fire, fire will break up routine. Fire will activate, spontaneity. Fire will activate that ability to tap into a little, that ego that allows you to be about you. And like I said, the more that you are about yourself, it becomes a magnet of the things that you're wanting to manifest, of the things that you want to be. You become more attractive because you are attracted to you. You become more excited because you are excited to you. You become more passionate because you are passionate to you. And if we are not any of those things, or we are less than what we want people to feel that for us, to ourselves, then we cannot expect more. We will not experience more than what we give ourselves. So how much of these things are you giving to yourself in the fire department? This, like I said, Sagittarius is about the wisdom, and the travel. So the next, not the next trip, but within the next year, for sure. Feeling like, within this year, within the 2022 time frame, a trip or some type of activity that is focused on self-discovery, that is focused on allowing yourself to discover new aspects of yourself in order to expand. And I know we talked about this, but we have to look at your Jupiter line. So the Jupiter line and your Saturn line, I'm wondering, do they even intersect on your astrocartography? So we'll have to look at that and see, because I think those will be keys in assisting you in where to travel in order to expand, in order to course correct, in order to discover the next stage in your mission, the next stage in your purpose. And this is asking you to make a move. So I do feel like it's not going to, it's going to be, Mars is about fire, but it's also fast. It's Aries energy. It is fast. So this feels like it's going to, if you allow yourself to say, yes, I'm okay to this. I'm okay to being open to the opportunities to maybe travel somewhere for just a little longer than I've done before. Maybe travel somewhere without the children, for a little bit longer than I did before. And not feeling like that is something that you are being selfish about. Once you are okay with saying yes to that, yes to that possibility, then I think that this will, the action behind it, the universe cranking up to assist you and getting to that place that will assist you in that transformation, assist you in that expansion, will be quick. And quick, is relative. Quick, I do feel, is in the by the end of the 2022. The element of air, communicating this and being bringing it to the forefront, communicating it and showing it, communicating it and being like this is how I'm representing. I want this. I need this. I desire this. And not only am I communicating these things to myself, I'm communicating them to those I love. I'm communicating what I really love, what I really see as valuable, what I really see as beautiful, what I really need in my life to feel valued, to feel nurtured. I'm communicating that outwardly, and I'm communicating it with a force. I'm also communicating with a level of perspective and clarity that I will be heard, because now I am hearing myself. I am hearing what I really want. I'm hearing what is good for me, what is allowing me to expand. And The Libra card is coming up, and Jupiter. So Libra is all about, like I said, you know, it's come up a couple times in the last cards. It's all about the creation of balance and harmony. And the partnerships in your life. All of the partnerships. Are the partnerships in your life creating balance and harmony? If they are not, they need to be reevaluated. If they are causing more energy coming out of you than that is coming back to you, if they are depleting in any way energetically, they need to be reevaluated and possibly deleted. Reevaluated, communicated what you need, and possibly no longer attached to you. Even the relationships with ourselves. Libra is as much about the relationship with ourselves as it is with other people. There are parts of ourselves, there are portions of our inner self that we also have to detach from. That we also have to say sayonara, like bye. Like, you got to go because you are holding me back. What parts of yourself do you need to say, like, if we can't balance out and we can't create harmony right now in order for me to propel into this next stage of my life, then you have got to go. I have got to cut my relationship with that part of myself that is holding me back. Because the expansion is here. Like, the expansion is here. The abundance is here. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be comfortable. There's some level of discomfort that comes with it. So this card, there's a seat here, but you see all of these like climbing staircases. I mean, it looks a little tiring. It does not mean that you are going to be completely exhausted and debilitated. What it means is that there's some steps to this. There are some twists and turns, but you are fully equipped in handling that. But you will never know unless you say yes, unless you agree to saying yes to what is for you. Because we're trying to overthink, we're trying to think into the future about the possible scenarios, the possible scenarios of what may happen if I decide on X, or if I do X, the possible scenarios of what may happen. And because of the possibilities of anything negative, we don't even give ourselves a chance to say yes to it. What Spirit is asking you is to say yes first, to not to think about the possible scenarios. Say yes first and then trust. Say yes first and then go. Say yes first and then see. Okay, I'll do just a couple more cards for you, and then if anybody else is here that wants a card, let me know, or wants a reading. Like, this ain't a card, this is like 15 cards. So. You're welcome. But let me pull a couple more. This is really cool because it's similar cards that was just drawn. Look beneath the surface. Look beneath the surface. You do look beneath the surface, but there's more to see. There's more to so this is coming to me like, so hey Amber, frogs shield from negative energy. Frogs are a repellent to negative energy. That's like kind of the energy about frogs. So what this card is telling me is that some things have this initial appearance to the human eye that look negative. So if it's a possible like opportunity, a possible situation, and it's like no, like your mind at some of those points are like no, that's not possible. I'm not doing that, you know, because I see the negative, the possible negative, or what I perceive as negative. You know, for instance, you know, an example would be, you know, going somewhere for prolonged periods of time by yourself, or whatever. Well, that means that in doing that, I have to leave my home. I have to, you know, make sure the kids are taken care of. I have to make sure everyone else is taken care of. I have to, you know, make sure that meals are prepped and all that, all those things. And in doing that, never even getting beneath the surface of what the possibility of that thing brings, if that makes sense. This tree, oh yeah, this does look like that. What is that Costa Rican frog name? Isn't it having a specific name? I'm gonna look it up in a second. But this is the same card that came up earlier. But this is like saying like the things that have died, the things that seem dark and cast out. You know, we have to get through this. We have to see past this to see the beauty of what is growing. You know, there's been lots of loss, lots of death, lots of things that have been buried, and they have been buried in order for things to continue to grow, in order for things to still be beautiful. And it's still beautiful even in the midst of all of the things that have been buried and all of the things that have died. And there are two paths ahead. So the choice is yours. Like this, I have to look up what this animal is on here. Let me see if I have the book. Okay, so this card here, I'll read a little bit about this card. So I wanted to see. So embracing your sacred divinity is honoring the divine feminine and masculine that resides in you. Every person shares both aspects of divinity. These are not stereotypical versions of what it means to be female or male. The divine feminine incorporates aspects of unconditional love, compassion, and gentleness, but these are also qualities of the divine masculine. Having expanded our intelligence and consciousness, human beings are no longer critical survivalists. We have evolved and adapted as a collective group. With growing intelligence and awareness, human beings, regardless of gender, can achieve these divine qualities. Yeah, I thought it was a phoenix. That's why I was like, let me look at the book. And I don't even know if it's going to say it here, but my initial like gut was that this was a phoenix, but there are like two birds here, two creatures here. So this is basically asking for divine balance. Currently, distortion of the divine feminine and masculine has occurred in you. You may be feeling highly analytical or overly emotional. And this is what I was talking about, the overthinking about like even the intuitive. Now is the time to address this issue as you are weighed down with imbalanced energies. You may feel emotionally disconnected from either the masculine or feminine side. Right now, you're being asked to honor sacred divinity that exists in you. Expressing the divine traits of creativity, expression, and gentleness, confidence, and strength is what is required. Feel the beauty and love that is uniquely yours and honor it. Give yourself a special gift to remind you of this inner journey and how much you care about your own divine self and well-being. So, The angel that is coming up is that you may want to look up is Archangel Samuel. I will so about Archangel Samuel, about love, tolerance, and personal boundaries. So I'll type that in here. It did not say like what bird it was. That's what I was going for. But we're gonna go with the Phoenix because it's striking me as Phoenix energy. So Phoenix, calling on Phoenix energy, which is about that resurrection, continuous resurrection, rising from the dust over and over and over and over again. So once again, with that first row of cards, where I said to go back and review the times that you have, expanded, those are also times when which you have risen from the dust, and you have done that over and over and over again. And so revisiting those times will rejuvenate you in the now moment. Amber, if you're still here, let me know if you have a question, Amber. I appreciate y'all. Okay, yeah. So the last three cards coming out for you are peace. Definitely, Holy Spirit energy again with the dove, and ushering in that peace for you, the peace and comfort, ideation. So ideation, is like, strikes me as like, what is ideal? What is ideal? But not what is ideal for everyone. What is ideal for you? Well, let's look up the exact definition of ideation. So the forming of the concepts in your mind, because okay, Amber, let me know if you have a question. Just type it in there, and I'll wait for it. It's no problem. Okay, no question. Okay. The ideation, or the formation of the for Crystal, the formation of the ideas in your own mind. What ideas or constructs have you formed that are limiting you and saying no? Like, no, I do not want to go down that road. No, I don't want to take a risk like that. No. And what ideas and constructs have you formed that allow for expansion? And we want to address both of them. We want to understand both of them, and we want to reprogram the ones that are limiting you, and want to bring the ones that have allowed for expansion up to the forefront. And yeah, it's going to cause some disruption in the mind. But this is a very calm color, This is a calm, and this is disruption. This is pink, fuchsia, whatever. Definitely speaking about the heart, at the heart level, and providing you, with many different paths. And there's the path that you choose is the right path for you. No one can do that for you. There's no I don't know why that this definitely is coming. Like, tell her there is no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. Like, you're not going to choose a wrong thing for you and your family if you say yes to what is for you. It's not going to be wrong. No, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, Amber. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to do Amber. No question, general. Amber, we have to go skating. Adult skating night. Let's do it. Next Sunday. Maybe next Sunday. If you're available, let's do it. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank everybody who's here for being patient and just like watching, if you're watching. Like I said, this is the first YouTube. Yes, skate night. So Amber. I'm feeling something, Amber, in my on my right side of my neck, like here, it's vibrating, almost into the shoulder. When I'm tapping into your energy. And it could be like physical in the neck itself, or it could be that's the paternal side, it's the right side. So just that ability to be motivated, ability to still kind of like express your truth, because this would be considered throat. So throat chakra is about the authenticity of how you're living right now, whether that is in alignment with your truth right now. Are you feeling like you're fully able to walk in your truth? Is there something that is you feel like you've left on the wayside? Is there something that you've forgotten? Is there something that you feel called to remember about you? Or is it physical? Okay, I felt it. Like it was like really like vibrating. It was like a vibrational. It wasn't a pain, but it was a vibrating energy. So something is talking to you about your motivation, your force, your get up and go, and let's see what this comes up. You can't go back there. No. Why do cats always want to go where they're not supposed to go? They're not. They're blocked off for a reason. Don't you dare. Don't. Get down. Who else is still here? You guys sleepy? I guess we'll stop after this if there's nobody else. Appreciate you all for being here. Appreciate you for liking the video. I'm gonna like it too. Oh, over here. Anybody else want a card to say? Want a reading. Okay, so let's see what we have for you. So definitely like Scorpio energy. Things have died. Things are, but things with that things. Death is reciprocal energy. It's meant to be reciprocal. With death comes life. With death comes new beginnings. The opportunity for new beginnings. With death comes the phoenix type of energy of resurrection from the ashes, continuously. It's not an easy. It's not an easy path. It's not an easy kind of like energy to deal with, but it's an energy that can be mastered. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Um, it is an energy that can be mastered. Um, and when I think about this energy of death in human form, we are not meant to necessarily conquer death, right? We're meant to master the art of death, the art of things dying, the art of regeneration and transformation into new life of the things that have died. But to conquer death, that does not happen in this physical life. To conquer death, it means that we have ascended from this physical life and we've completed this form of our physical life. That is very much a Jesus energy of conquering death, of ascending from the physical form and no longer being physical. Although we are ascending, at a constant level, we have not yet ascended to that point where we conquered death. So while we are in this human form, we become so familiar with the cycles of death and life, life and death, and the continuous Ouroboros energy of eating ourself and regenerating and growing and shedding and growing and shedding and growing and shedding. And it's not easy. It's asking you to ground into those things, to understand that Earth is very much about how it's been valuable, how it's stabilized you, how it's made you more sturdy, how it's made you more, almost like more valuable. And these things were meant to stabilize you. They were meant to prepare you for that energy of life and death cycles. Not only to help yourself, but to help others in experiencing those types of cycles as well. And continuing to transform yourself into new versions of yourself. Knowing that this is a never-ending story of transformation. And if it's going to be a never-ending story, why not enjoy it? Why not enjoy the ride? That is really loud, Kellen. This is very much a part of your highest potential. There is so much, although it has been, it can be this very trial and tribulation and definitely down and out energy at times. You are meant to be so abundant from this. You are meant to rise above this. You are meant to sit in a seat of elevation from this. This is part of your highest potential. Midheaven deals with your ability to tap into the highest version of yourself. And so embracing this energy and understanding this is very much a part of you and not separate from you. These things are not happening to you. These are happening for you. And when we can see the things like that as happening for us instead of to us, and we include ourselves in the situation as part of the equation and not as something that has come in as an external stimulus to attack us and affect us, then we have a better time in transiting those things. This very much feels like very self-mastery. A period of self-mastery, a period of self-discovery, of seeking knowledge about not only the world, but about you. And so when I see the Sagittarius, I see like that ability to master not only a subject, but really master yourself. Master your healing, master your purpose, master your direction, because these cards are coming up with the Sagittarius. Mastery of the healing. And also the snake too, representing the Scorpio energy, representing the cycles of life and death with the Ouroboros. Merging the shadow and light aspects of yourself. What shadow aspects of yourself have been difficult for you to accept? What shadow aspects of yourself does the Saturn say, you know, maybe we need to keep that, you know, unlocked. Maybe we don't need to release that part of myself because that is, you know, taboo, or that is, you know, that's not in alignment with what the public may see me as, or that is not in alignment with the conditioned part of my mind that says I need to act and look and be this. What shadow aspects are asking you for to be illuminated and to be revealed? Yeah. Sag moon and Scorpio, yeah. So I'm feeling very much like a energy of self-mastery right now. Like, you will emerge from this place where you are now at such an evolved state. Yeah. It will be, there's some unconventional things. There's some unconventional thoughts that you experience, unconventional ideas that people, you know, may not receive, you know, initially. They may not understand how to receive them from you. But to be diligent in those things, to be steadfast in delivery of these ideas and even the execution of them. Because there is a knowing about this Aquarius energy that I always say, you probably heard me say this before, that Aquarius energy is the energy that has gone to the future and then comes back to tell us that it is okay there, that it's safe there. They've gone to the future and they come back to tell us how to get there in the best way. They've gone to the future and they tell us what we need to do to prepare ourselves for it. So the ideas that you have are valuable. And there's going to be a time where you're going to have to branch out and do and enact the ideas alone. You know, because Aquarians are very much, I march to the beat of my own drum. And I'm going to march to the beat of my own drum. And then I'm going to create a tribe that also marches to the beat of their own drum. And then we become a collective. And then we advance humanity. But it's going to have to start as you alone, as you solo, as you, the originator of the ideas, as you, the bearer of the ideas that trust yourself, because it's not going to be dependent on anybody else hearing your ideas and taking and believing necessarily in you. Not saying that people don't believe in you, but they may perceive the ideas that you have as too unconventional for them to even wrap their heads around what needs to be done to advance us as a human collective. This requires a great deal of yeah, earthy minerals. Okay, good. Yeah, keep it like you. There's things about you that you know that you have a passion about, that you need to allow yourself to dive headfirst into, because the time is now. The time is now for all of us. And it's really about the execution of those things to grow ourselves into that highest potential. But this feels like very energy of like, I'm done with all of that stuff. I'm done with all of that stuff. I'm done with learning the same old cycles over and over. I've mastered that cycle of those things. I'm ready for the next stage, and the next stage is ready for you. The fifth house energy is saying to be creative with that Aquarius. Aquarius is creative because it's unconventional, and so is Leo. Leo energy is that fifth house energy, and they love each other. They love each other. Those are two energies that go very well together. And Leo is about leading from the heart, and Aquarius is about more leading from the mind. How can those things, combine and come together and assist one another? They're also opposite ends of the spectrum. I mean, opposite sides of the chart in the astrology chart too. So this is asking you to balance the two. That while Aquarius is about very very straightforward, to the point thinking, straight laced type of no BS type of thinking, and Leo is like a little flamboyant, a little flavor with it. Let's make it jazzy. It's asking you to combine both of those things, that you don't have to choose one or the other. The Pisces and the moon sign, I mean, use your imagination to create your reality. You do not have to repeat anything that you were at before, any situation, any person, any version of yourself. You don't have to repeat that. Use everything that you have to manifest, and it's going to begin in the mind. And with that Scorpio energy, we just want to avoid not so much avoid, but know and be aware when we hit those traps of the traps in the mind that keep you bound to a negative outcome, a possibility of a negative outcome. I call it the spiral down thinking. Like when we get caught on something that is potentially has a negative outcome, it continues to spiral down and we get stuck there. And there's no possibility of expansion until we're unstuck from that. Because if you think of a spiral down, it gets tight, and we stuck. The only way to unstuck yourself from that is to loosen it up. Loosen it up, it gets wider, and then it allows for expansion. So, let's see. Yeah, tell him I said hi too if you saw him today. Yeah, I mean, I always say we're always sent people that are here to encourage us, and the fact that you saw this by just coming on here, that's amazing. And congratulations on the new job. And I'll be curious to hear about the earthing materials. So balance. Some key words for you. Balance. Transformation. And that's all that Scorpio energy, Pluto energy, that snake energy. Transform. Allow it. New chapter. And we know that's happening. You already shared that. And strength. So look up white tiger. Let me see if I have that in here. Some of these cards, I don't know where the books are, but white tiger, the strength card. So this card here, so this is like confirmation on that self-mastery. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. This card comes to remind you of your inner strength and courage. Although you may feel weary and hopeless at this time, do not lose faith and heart. You are a lot stronger than you realize. Moving through this chapter in your life, you will understand the lesson of having to release your inner resistance and fears. By uncovering your true strength, you'll have the courage to move through this with clarity, understanding, and compassion. Your prayers for strength have been heard. Release all fears that are blocking spiritual guidance. Breaking down walls will help you see all the synchronicities and signs communicated to you. And there's a little bit more. But if you want me to send you a picture of this, I can send you a picture of this little write-up here. Or just, if it's not going to be... So sacral and solar plexus for you. Sacral and solar plexus chakras for you. And then the last cards. If anybody else is here... that wants a card, I will continue to pull. If you're interested in a reading, it's a minimum of $11. You send it to CashApp. It's pinned at the top. I appreciate everyone who's paid. I really do. I mean, this is what I do. This is my purpose. This and many other things in the spiritual realm, but this is how I make my living, you know, literally. And I want to continue to be okay with this. Creativity card coming up again. Abundance and peace and confidence. Creativity. Use your, like I said, when the light bulb comes on, allow yourself to see. Don't say, let's turn this light bulb off. That light bulb came on for a reason. That little ding in the head with the idea, you know, allow that idea to grow, because we shut our own selves down sometimes. Abundance. Allow yourself to see the things that are coming to you for you to grow and you to be abundant. Peace. Peace is around you. Peace is wanted for you. Spirit wants peace for you. Spirit wants you to feel peaceful and harmonized and confident. I hope you are as jazzy as you've been when I've seen you before. If you have not been, it's time to be. It's time to put back on the short shorts. It's almost summer. It's time to go skating. It's time to get that fire. It's time to get moving. It's time to get rolling. It's time to get, you know, those parts of yourself that were beneficial to you back. And allow them to also shift and change and grow. Like I said, we're never expected to be the same as we were before when we're evolving. But there are parts of ourselves that we leave behind because, you know, life happens and those parts just seem to kind of get stuck and they get, you know, left at the wayside. So you're welcome. Thank you. Let me know if there's anybody else that needs one, or if you don't want a reading and you just have a general question, I'll answer any questions, right? A couple questions right now. If you just have a question without cards, like just a question, you know, about anything, spiritual, whatever. If not, I'll get off in a couple minutes. And I appreciate everyone for showing up. We'll do this again. Like I said, there's YouTube feels a little different than Instagram. As far as the energy, the people, you know, I know most of you from Instagram. The people is the same, but the energy, like on this internet, on the of live is different. So let me know if anybody wants a reading. If not, I'll get off in a couple minutes. Or if anyone has a question. I'm a little delirious, if you can tell. I don't know, like just a tad. Maybe because I gotta use the bathroom. I'm like watching myself on the computer as I was like, it's delayed. I was like, what am I doing? Anyway, let me know, because I don't know who's in here. I see 6 people. I guess I'm counted in that 6. But if no one has any more questions or wants another card, I really from okay, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Like, I don't know how the algorithms really work. And that's what a lot of people said actually on IG. They said they wouldn't see them or see them late or what have you. So sorry, I'm yawning. But I will plan on doing this. I'm on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you know, you can see me on TikTok. I post slightly different things on TikTok, so just so that they're a little tad different than some of them are cross posted on Instagram. I am sipping water. It's water. I mixed some water, some little tad of cranberry, like pure cranberry juice, lemon, and a tiny bit of pineapple juice because I needed to clear out myself. And it's work. I mean, it also hydrated a lot. I was really dehydrated, but this is like my concoction for like clearing and hydrating at the same time. Thank you. And you'd be proud of me, Amber. I almost drunk a whole, even though this is a plastic bottle, but this was like up here, and I drank that. I mixed it up in here, and then I've been drinking that. So that's a lot for me because I am not a thirsty person. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna say good night. I appreciate you all. Let me get a snapshot. Okay, stop. But I appreciate you all. Much love to you. Much blessings to you. Abundance to you. Thank you, all the spirit guides. Thank you, everyone, for just being here and creating the space for this. So have a good night and a great weekend wherever you are. Much love. Let's see how to turn this off.